Okay, first pass is not great, not great. All right, I will say I think this has potential. It's just I have a lot more work to do. We need to salvage this, and we can salvage this, and we will salvage this. How low does this go? This is a little short, plain black blazer that I got from Goodwill, and I have some ideas. I could go diamond encrusted like Beyonce did, but that's a little over the top, a little unfeasible, and I have somewhere to go in like 5 days that I need to wear this to, so can't do that. Billie Eilish actually wears jewels on hers, and I think it looks really pretty, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling the whole jewels thing. I could cut some of the embroidery off of here and like stick it on, but then it's like a little too matchy-matchy. I could do text across here, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that either. Like, Beyonce also did that in another one of her outfits, and I thought it was kind of cool. I thought I could do like orange and pink, like just having Meredith May go across, but then I thought people would be walking down the street and being like, who's Meredith May? And I could be like, it's me. I don't know if I want to go that route either, because this is too pretty for just like text going across. So I actually have another idea of how I'm gonna decorate the blazer, and it involves pearls and safety pins. So you all are just gonna have to stay tuned to how I make this turn out, because I'm really excited about it, and I don't remember where I got the idea, but I cannot wait to execute the idea.
A few moments later.
Okay, first pass is not great, not great. I kind of feel like an Oompa Loompa. All right, I will say I think this has potential. It's just I have a lot more work to do than I originally thought. I just kind of thought, oh, I'm gonna sew the tulle to the bottom and then I'll be on my way. Like, okay, no. First of all, the bottom needs to come up. I think I'm gonna bring it up like almost a full 3 inches. And I think like this blazer definitely needs some shape, because it's really great in the shoulders, but in the waist it's just a little too big. Like, all right, we need to salvage this. We need to salvage this, and we can salvage this, and we will salvage this, but not great, not great. This is not great. Don't love, but will love. Don't love, but will love. I don't know. I might actually start bringing it in on the sides first. And I'm just gonna like grab the fabric in the middle between these 2 seams, like somewhere in the, like around the waist area. And I'm just gonna pinch in 1 inch. Honestly, 1 inch might be a lot. I just wanna see if I take this in 1 inch, is that gonna be too much? I think that is pretty good. Like, if I just feel it, there's still like some room back here, but let's see, if I do another inch in the front, I might actually need to do, I might actually need to do more in the front, but this is my first attempt at eyeballing. Now, if I didn't have a mannequin, I would honestly just like pinch and try it on. I know my mannequin. I know her well enough that we can keep going. So I've got my blazer turned inside out here, and this is the center seam. These are the side seams. I did put my front darts in, and let me measure how long these were. So it's about 5 1/4. So I'm also just gonna make these about 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in the middle between my center seam and side seam, pinch. So I have this pinched, and I'm gonna measure in 1 inch. And this is, I'm just gonna mark 1 inch in. So I know that I'm sewing till here, and then we're just gonna make this 5 1/4, which is a little over 2 1/2. This is honestly not official, so this is where I'm gonna start. So I'm just gonna kind of like sew from here to here and then like basically back out. Yeah, these darts, well, they're not perfect. And I've been staring at them for like the last 5 minutes, deciding what to do if I want to redo them. And I really think that like it helps that this is black, like it's kind of hiding it. And also I'm gonna be putting some decoration on here. So I think that's also gonna hide it. Also, I should mention that I totally aborted the pleats or the darts in the front because there's some like extra fabric in here that's like not making it look good. And so I tried this on with the darts in the back and I think it looks good enough for not really wanting to fuss with the front. So aborted the darts in the front and I'm only keeping the darts in the back. So we're gonna keep moving. And yay, we're getting to the first fun part, which is actually attaching the tulle fabric to the blazer. So I've got my blazer turned over. This is the back, which is where I'm gonna start. I know that I'm going to flip this up by about 2.5 inches, which is kind of a lot actually. Hope my booty doesn't show. But anyway, I'm just going to start pinning my tulle on like about 2.5 inches. So if I start pinning my tulle on a little lower than 2.5 inches, we'll just get a couple on here. Yeah, I want it just lower than 2.5. I'm gonna flip it up right like this. And then this will just fall down and you won't see any seams. See, no, there won't be like a seam here because I'll have sewn it, because I'm gonna sew it right along here. And then when I flip it up, there won't be a seam on the outside. It'll only be on the inside. So now I'm just gonna get this sewed, pinned on and sewed all the way across. Okay, now that I've come to this end, do I want to add a little train? Would that be fun? Like that. Fold that in there. Done. Oh my gosh, there comes a time in every project when like I get so far and I can just really feel and see like in my mind how this is actually gonna turn out. And for me, that is right now just getting this even sewn onto the bottom. I'm like, okay, I'm really starting to feel this dress and I can't wait. It's almost like the energy like pushes me through a project. So that time is now, here we are. Like I'm gonna work with the back first since there's like an opening in the back, and I'm just gonna take this, kind of start feeding it through. I'm actually gonna baste this, so I'm gonna go on my longest stitch, which is 4. I'm gonna baste it first and then I will move this to 2.5. So I'm just gonna take this nice and slow, to be honest. And I'm just very cognizant of not sewing the bottom shut. This is a lot of fabric to work with, and I'm having to bunch it up over here. I don't love doing that. It's always so awkward getting this out. Like, cut, done. Well, if I wasn't committed to the tail and the back, I am definitely committed now because I just sewed the bejesus out of it. So yeah, we're committed now. Okay, so if you can see, I've got this sewed on. Got this sewed on twice, and here's my like seam allowance. Here's like the raw edge, and I'm just gonna like turn this up just like this and then sew. And that's how I'm gonna hem the skirt. So you do not see this seam at all. It's just there. So I just had the realization just now that I'm gonna have to hand stitch the bottom, like flipping the bottom up. Like I'm actually gonna have to hand stitch that because I don't want a seam on the outside. So I'm gonna have to like slip stitch, and I don't even know if I can do that like appropriately. So yeah, that kind of stinks. Like that's gonna take a long time, but that's what we're gonna have to do, so it looks good. Just to give more clarity, let's get this. When I flip this up, like I will obviously have to sew it, and I don't want there to be like a thread. I don't want you to be able to see the seam right through here. So I'm gonna have to like hand tack this in. Okay, so if you wanna know how to slip stitch, where I've already kind of gone around except for this little section right here, but everything else is pretty much attached. So slip stitching allows, you can see that there's no seam. You can see that there's no seam on the actual outside. This is the inside. So how do we do that so that you can't actually see a seam? Like if you can tell, there's no seam that goes across here, and that's because I slip stitched it together. So how we do that, like zoom in here, is I have my needle and thread, and these two sides are pinned together. And I'm just going to pull some threads from the inside, just like a thread like that. And then pull some threads from the inside. I know this is black, so it's hard to see, but I'm just gonna pull through. This is getting caught over here. I'm just gonna pull this through, and then I'm gonna do it again. So now my thread is on the outside part. I'm just gonna pull a couple, right where my thread came through on the other side, I'm just gonna pull a couple of threads. You can barely see it on the inside part, and then on the outside part, just hook it around. If you can see over here, you can't even see the, you can kind of see a little dent there, but you cannot see the needle, so it's not going through to the other side. And then to tie this off, I'm just gonna take another little piece, circle, another little piece. I'll do this 3 times to really secure this in place. Done, cut. Donezo! And there you have it. I have a perfectly attached, like this is not coming off, and you definitely cannot see a seam on the other side. So done with that. Yay! Time to try on. Goodness gracious, I think this looks so good. It's all coming together. One thing that I don't love is, I don't love like how conservative this looks. I don't even know if that's the right word, but I feel very like, I don't know, Mother May I in this. Like I feel like I kind of need to like, I don't know, open it up just like a little bit, like feel very, I don't know, nunnish, like Mother May I in this blazer with it buttoning up so high. But actually, speaking of nuns, fun fact, when I was in the 5th grade, Titanic came out, and I went to go see it in the theater with my mother and none other than my 1st grade teacher, who was a nun, Sister Eleanor. That's right, I sat next to a nun during Titanic. During the art scene where he's painting her. Yes, there was a nun sitting right next to me. So I'm gonna like try to shed some of this nun awkward memory and just open this up just a little bit in honor of getting past that awkwardness. We've got her on our dress form, and I do just want to like really just want to open this up like a tiny, like not a ton, just a tiny bit. So first step is just popping off this button. Like we're just gonna, pop, pop goes the button. Oh God, does this look like I'm stabbing her if I put this pin right here? But I just want to start like opening this up. Yeah, like, okay, before it was all the way up there. That's kind of crazy. I just want to take it to like, maybe right there? Actually, how are we gonna close this? I can't like, I might have to actually like, go like that. We're opening her up. Yes! Like, I'm just gonna open her up just a little bit. Yeah, I can iron that down. Then I'm gonna do the same slip stitching method that I did for the bottom. Up here, I'm just gonna like slip stitch this like little seam together. And then we'll be ready to move on to the final part, which is like the most creative part, which is my favorite part. Which I'm also keeping it a surprise because it is so awesome. Like you're never gonna guess how I'm gonna decorate this. Maybe I'll give you a little hint. I'm gonna be using pearls. Pearls are going on this. No, I'm not gluing them. No, I'm not sewing them on. So how am I gonna attach the pearls? You're just gonna have to wait to find out. Oh, she's feeling spicy and we're moving right along. Okay, so for the grand reveal, so I have some safety pins with pearls. They're black safety pins with pearls on them, pink pearls, kind of different colored pearls. And this is what is gonna be the decoration on the blazer. And I'm so excited. Oops. I just hope it doesn't look too crafty, but we're gonna make sure it doesn't look too crafty. It's gonna look amazing. So let's start putting them on.